And that's why we've been so successful in this campaign. And because we've been so successful, that's why my opponents have been trying to make this election about me lately. Oh, we don't really know him. Even though I wrote 2 books, it's all there. It's all there, warts and all. We're not sure he shares our values. We haven't seen him wear a flag pin lately. He's got a funny name. He says he's Christian, but we don't know. And his former pastors said some terrible things, and so can we really trust this guy? That's the argument. That's the argument that's being made right now, because you know what? They can't win on the ideas. They can't win on the issues. And so what they've tried to do is make this election about my values and my ideals and my character. And so let me just close by telling you something about myself and where I come from, in case you haven't read the books. I was born to a teenage mother, and my father left when I was 2. So I was raised by a single mom and her parents, my grandparents. And my grandparents, they were raised in small towns in Kansas. They were raised in the Great Depression. They didn't have a lot. And they learned small town values: honesty, hard work, responsibility, community. And my grandfather, after Pearl Harbor, joined the Army, and he fought in Europe in Patton's Army. And my grandmother stayed home with a newborn baby born in Fort Leavenworth and worked on a bomber assembly line as part of the war effort. And when my grandfather came home, there was a U.S. government who said, we are going to do right by this generation, and gave him a GI Bill, and that's how he afforded to go to college. And then that same government said, you know what, we're going to make everybody more prosperous if we help people buy homes. So they gave my grandparents an FHA loan to help buy their first home. And as my mother grew up, she was able to get financial aid so that she could go to college. And even though she was a single mom, trying to raise kids and work and go to school at the same time, and sometimes she had to use food stamps to make sure that we had enough to eat. She was able to not only raise us, but also send us to the best schools this country had to offer. And after going to those schools and deciding I wanted to give something back to rebuild this country, and working as a community organizer and working as a civil rights attorney, I met my wife, and her story is similar. She was raised by a wonderful couple, but they never graduated from college. They never went to college. And so her father had multiple sclerosis, and yet he went to work every day as a shift worker, as a city worker. Mother working as a secretary. And so their story was like our story. Those same Midwestern values of honesty and hard work and responsibility and family. And so, if you want to know why I'm running, if you want to know me and my values and my character, it's because my story, Michelle's story, wouldn't be possible anyplace else except the United States of America. I couldn't be standing here as a candidate for president anywhere else in the world. Michelle couldn't be standing alongside me, a little girl from the south side of Chicago, maybe ending up as First Lady. And so, what this election is about is my patriotism, my belief that this country is the best in the world because it gives everybody a shot at the American dream, because we're all created equal, because we all the pursuit of happiness, and that right now the reality is not matching up with our ideals, but it can if we're willing to work for it. If we're willing to struggle for it. If this generation is willing to roll up its sleeves, arm in arm, and remake this country block by block, county by county, state by state, if we're not willing to settle for what the cynics tell us we have to accept, but we're willing to reach for what we know is possible, if we are willing to work so the next generation has the same chance as somebody gave us, if we are insistent on keeping the dream alive for those who still hunger for opportunity, for those who still thirst for justice, so for those kids who are just like me and who are just like Michelle, who they need that handle to move towards their dreams. That's what this election's about. And you know, there's a moment in the life of every generation when that spirit, that belief, that hope has to come through. And this is our moment, Indiana. This is our time. And if you'll vote for me and march with me and organize with me, I promise you, I won't let you down. You and I together